phone call from here saying that somebody was dead.
What?
Is there somebody else that lives on this property that has your address? What's your address?
All right, folks, grab your popcorn, because this is one of those stories where reality feels stranger than fiction. And trust me, if you thought the David situation couldn't get messier, oh, you're in for a ride. This isn't just some internet rumor or a small controversy that blows over in a week. No, this is the kind of scandal that spirals, one layer at a time, until you can't tell if you're watching a crime documentary or scrolling TikTok. And the worst part? At the center of all this chaos is a dead 15-year-old girl. Now, let's set the stage. A Tesla parked on the street. Days go by. Tickets pile up, and inside the trunk, a body. Not just anybody. Celeste, a teenager. Already, this isn't some small-time drama. It's the kind of detail that makes you stop in your tracks and think, wait, how does something like this even happen? We're not talking about a lost phone or a leaked DM. We're talking about a literal child's life cut short, and the first thing people notice is the bizarre, sloppy way the whole thing comes to light. And then, the police get a call. David's dad's house is suddenly swarmed after someone reports a gunshot and a woman screaming. Sounds straight out of a crime thriller. But here's the twist. Turns out it was a prank. A swatting attempt. Really? Of all the times to pull a stunt like that, it just so happens to be when the entire internet is already connecting dots between David, his circle, and a dead teenager? What are the odds? Coincidence? Maybe. But doesn't it feel just a little too convenient? If this was a scripted drama, you'd roll your eyes and say the writers were trying too hard. Yet in real life, it's almost too absurd to believe.
10-42, sir.
Sorry to bother you, but somebody called and said there was something. I mean, there was a person that where they called on themselves. You know what I mean? It was like, hey, there's somebody dead.
Someone's dead. Yeah.
That's what we have. I mean, we're gonna take caution. You know what I mean? Wasn't trying to scare y'all. Just
And if it was
this house is way off the roadway.
So you just opened the gate and came in?
Yes, ma'am. I'll put it back. I have a gate just like it.
I can get trying to get my country.
Yeah, when it's something like this, when they say somebody's dead, their life matters more than, you know what I mean?
I hear.
I didn't damage your gate, I just opened it. Ah, it ain't on their phone.
And this is not a Texas.
Yeah, it's an out-of-state number.
Someone's messing with us. Someone's
But
messing with us.
it would be pinged here though, because wherever they call from, it pings and sends it to dispatch.
What the what?
So like whenever you call 911, wherever you are, it sends like a ping that's how they know the address.
And this address came up to this number?
Yes, ma'am, that's where he was meeting. Carrying engine 42.
So it says somebody on my property?
It could be. We'll check the property for you.
Yes, please.
So we'll ride around. If you can give me a layout, how's the property? Like, does it go further back? Like,
No, it doesn't go any further back. It's just right here and then it goes
Follow
right
the
here.
fence, there was a gate here and the fence around. Just around the fence.
Well, him and I will ride around and check, and then we'll leave. You know?
Yeah, okay, so that was a false alarm. You see, I don't like this kind of thing. So if I really do have an emergency, then
Yeah.
okay. Thank you, ma'am. Sorry.
Well, if you do have an emergency, you know we're going to be here.
Okay.
We're going to get here.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate
Thank you.
it. All right.
Y'all have a good night.
Me and my daughter, the only females here. She's 8.
Yeah. Who was
4
the
of us live
person?
in the house. My son?
Your son?
Yes.
Okay, he's upstairs?
Yes. My daughter is upstairs as well.
And then comes the moment. The clip that went viral. David at a meet and greet, doing what he always does. Charming fans, signing stuff, keeping that polished pop star energy. Until, bam, he locks eyes with someone in the crowd who looks eerily like Celeste. And you can see it. The exact second the mask slips, his expression goes from autopilot smile to pure shock, like he just saw a ghost, or his own future collapsing. People slowed the clip down frame by frame like it was the Zapruder film, dissecting every micro expression. Was it guilt? Was it trauma? Was it the face of someone who knows far more than they're admitting? Or, hey, maybe he just left his AirPods in the Uber. But deep down, you know that look wasn't nothing. Now, while David's facial expressions had people whispering, let's not forget his manager, Josh, arguably the only man alive who could make this situation even worse. Instead of keeping quiet, lawyering up, or even pretending to act professional, he decides the best move is to, fight random commenters on TikTok. That's right, a teenager is dead, the internet is in chaos, and Josh is typing like a Reddit mod on a caffeine high. His defense? I'm a father. I live in another state. I didn't know what was going on. Oh, brilliant. Amazing. Because apparently, having kids now makes you immune from shady behavior. It's like he thought being a dad was his alibi. Forget evidence. Forget common sense. He's a parent, guys, so he can't possibly be involved. What a relief. Case solved.
So Josh Marshall, one of David's managers, has actually spoken out through the comment section of a TikTok video, and he made it very clear that all of the allegations that are circulating about him knowing anything, about him being involved in anything, is completely untrue and fabricated. He said, "This has been a tough time for my family as I am a father of 3 children. I received no emails and I am no one's roommate. I live full-time at home with my wife and kids. My daughter is 14 and this news is affecting so many lives. I never received any emails. I had zero knowledge of anything and I don't live in California. Also, I work remotely 95% of the time and my job doesn't require me to have much interaction with any of my clients." He mentions David's name and said that there's many others who work with him on a day-to-day capacity, but not him. He said, "This news is tragic for so many and for her family. I hope the proper authorities get to the bottom of it soon. Let me remind people, a lot of this is speculation and alleged. In the meantime, I am with my family helping them emotionally."
But let's circle back to the car, because this detail alone has everyone scratching their heads. A Tesla linked to David with a body inside. Who in their right mind would commit a crime and then leave the evidence sitting in their own vehicle? It sounds so ridiculous that fans immediately screamed, "Set up." And honestly, it does feel too sloppy to be real. If someone wanted to frame David, this is exactly how they do it. Make it so painfully obvious that he looks guilty that people start to question whether it's a frame job. It's either the dumbest move in history or the smartest. The kind of 4D chess you only see when someone wants to make sure you look guilty, whether you are or not.
Forms here. By the way, we are working on something that could be really interesting. But I will tell you this. There is an impound report that shows that the car that had Celeste's body in it, that was parked on Doheny Drive, was first ticketed for being there. See, I thought it was going to be a few days before September 5th when it was towed. It was there since August 26th when it was first ticketed. And if it was ticketed, it must have been there even before that. So it seems like that car was parked on that street for 2 weeks. Let me tell you why that's significant. I lived on that street, on Doheny Drive. I don't anymore, but I did for a long time. And Doheny Drive is a residential street in the Hollywood Hills, but it is a well-trafficked street. A lot of people go up and down that Doheny Drive, and especially where that car was found. I am guessing, I don't know, but it was ticketed twice, and because I know that area. And when the street cleaner comes, if you keep your car there on street cleaning day, they'll ticket you. So I'm guessing that the 2 tickets were for street cleaning. So I think the car had to be there for at least 2 weeks. So the question, how is that car sitting there for 2 weeks? Was it sitting there with a body for 2 weeks? David left for tour August 5th. So let me just make an argument to you. Because I know a lot of you think, well, the walls are closing in on David, and David seems to be what you think is the suspect. The police have not named him as such. But here's the thing about that. If you were David, look at what David's done. He's written a song called Romantic Homicide. He's got this imagery with a bloody shirt, right? He wrote a song about being obsessed with Celeste, right? People saw him with Celeste, right? Mm-hmm. They saw him with Celeste, right? And what if, and I don't know, somebody said, what a great way of framing David. What a great way of framing David, that you put a body of this girl that he was dating in his car and leave it there to get towed with all that evidence. Young Jackson is nodding yes.
I am nodding yes because this has been my theory for like the past week, and I've had people call me crazy. There is such a short window of time to where he could have killed her, dismembered her body, and left for tour.
He was gone August 5th.
He wasn't in the city. He wasn't in the city.
But here's the thing. Think about if he did it. You're going to leave a body in your car on a street for 2 weeks knowing eventually it's going to get towed and found.
And yet, the defense doesn't stop there. Because of course, we get the infamous Fortnite excuse. Picture this, a 20-year-old man explaining that yes, a 14-year-old girl was at his mansion, but don't worry, they were just friends who played video games together. Fortnite, that's the line. Because nothing screams totally normal and appropriate like late-night hangouts between an adult man and a child casually explained away with a video game. If you pitched that as a defense in a courtroom, people would laugh you out the building.
Okay, but Unc, what about the vivid video of him and the 13-year-old linking up?
So, how can we prove they had sex for intercourse?
What were they doing, Unc? Playing Fortnite, bro? Come on.
No, listen. Me and you know that. The police know that.
Oh, I see. You're talking about the police. How do you prove it? I see.
Still the evidence to convict you.
Okay, so we gotta just wait and see what happens, bro.
All I keep telling everybody, but why would they let a black man in America? If we really believe the police is against us, that we're going through injustices, what black man gets to walk around in America and tour as a millionaire when all the evidence says he's guilty? They let Diddy do it.
That's true.
So I'm saying, homie, maybe somebody else killed this kid because he even went to the police station.
But here, that's what we're asking to buy? And here's where the sarcasm falls flat. Because at the heart of all this mess, a 15-year-old girl is dead. 15. Barely old enough to drive, let alone be caught up in the world of celebrity, money, and influence. Her life should have just been beginning. Instead, it ended in the trunk of a car, while the adults around her scrambled to explain away their part in the story. So let's cut through the noise. Is David truly the unluckiest guy alive, framed in the most absurd way possible? Or is this the brutal reality of what happens when fame, ego, and poor decisions collide? Because whether he's directly responsible or not, the truth is this: he was the adult, the one with power, influence, and control. And when you have that kind of power, you don't get to hide behind Fortnite excuses and TikTok arguments. And here's the kicker: this story isn't slowing down. Every day more details drop. Every day fans dig deeper. And every day the internet reminds David and his circle that no matter how carefully you curate your image, the truth has a way of clawing its way out.
Video of him and the 13-year-old linking up.
So, how can we prove they had sex for intercourse?
What were they doing, Unc? Playing Fortnite, bro? Come on.
No, listen. Me and you know that. The police know that.
Oh, I see. You're talking about the police. How do you prove it? I see.
Still the evidence to convict you.
Okay, so we gotta just wait and see what happens, bro.
All I keep telling everybody, but why would they let a black man in America? If we really believe the police is against us, that we're going through injustices, what black man gets to walk around in America and tour as a millionaire when all the evidence says he's guilty? They let Diddy do it.
That's true.
So I'm saying, homie, maybe somebody else killed this kid because he even went to the police station to talk to the police.
A lot of people do seem to think that Celeste was spotted at David's concert on August 23rd, 2025 in Silver Springs, Maryland, standing on a balcony watching the show with David's brother. If this is actually Celeste, this changes everything. This is a screenshot right here, very zoomed in, and this right here is actually a video clip. Now, if we zoom into the female who's standing next to this guy on the balcony, who David seems to be like pointing at a couple of times while he's performing, she's wearing blue jeans and a black tube top. Remember, Celeste was wearing a black tube top, but she was wearing black leggings when she was found in David's Tesla. If this is Celeste, and if David was responsible for her death, I'm pretty sure that they would have had to fly out on August 25th. Celeste was at the show on the 23rd. David picked up another show in Silver Spring, Maryland on the 24th. So he performed in Maryland the 23rd, the 24th. He had the 25th off. So he could have hypothetically flown to California again with Celeste when something maybe went wrong. Because after his August 25th break, he performs again in Ohio, then he performs in Mass, and he's pretty much performing every night until her body is ultimately found on September 5th. Now, while some neighbors said that the car had been sitting there where it was for about a month, which would indicate that David may have parked it there before going on tour, some people said that they noticed the car parked there a week or two prior to it being towed away on the 5th. So let's just say this is Celeste, hypothetically. If she's alive on the 23rd, David's next day off from performing is the 25th. The two of them fly back to California. Something happens. He puts her in a bag, puts her in the Tesla, abandons the Tesla a block and a half away from where he is renting property. This kind of could correlate with some of the neighbors saying that they noticed the car abandoned where it was before it was towed about a week and a half to 2 weeks prior to it being towed. And if she was put in there on the 25th, then that would mean that she was in the vehicle, in the hot vehicle, for 14 days. Would that actually correspond to what the medical examiner's statement was, which was that the decedent was found severely decomposed inside a vehicle on September 8th, 2025. She appears to have been deceased inside the vehicle for an extended period of time before being found. Is 14 days considered an extended period of time? Possibly. And could this theory be further confirmed by Celeste's brother Matthew, who was reached out to via IG DMs and asked, once her body was identified, how long she's been deceased, and he said 2 weeks. If we take when she was found on the 8th and go back 2 weeks, that puts us at exactly
to act extremely guilty right now. If you don't know about this entire David situation, I definitely recommend to do your own research, but here are a few things over the past few days that David has been doing that makes it seem like he is very guilty. Starting off with the first thing, he has officially turned off his comments here on TikTok, and also he turned off his comments on every single social media platform. So if you go into his comment section here on TikTok, you cannot comment anything. Same thing on every other social media platform. On top of that, he has started to unrepost almost every single video he has reposted here on TikTok, especially the ones that are not a good look for him. For example, this one right here behind me that he had reposted that he no longer has reposted. It is a video of this guy saying, "Me if I see her talk with other dudes," and then this guy is actually cutting up meat. And then finally, he has canceled the rest of his US tour. The people that had tickets to go see him live are now getting emails being informed that the event that they were going to has been canceled. And then also he had a European tour that was going to be going on. He canceled that. And then there's also a Australia tour that he was going to be going on, and I believe that was canceled as well. So yeah, looking pretty guilty right now, but I'm curious to know your thoughts about all this.
How did you meet Celeste?
Through a friend.
Tell me how that whole relationship started.
I guess she liked me, or she was looking for someone, and yeah, we started talking.
And what school was this in?
Lakeland Village.
Was she sweet? Was she kind? Was she bubbly? What do you remember about her?
She was really kind, and she said she wanted something serious.
And how old were you when you met her?
13 or 14.
So at what point did you feel, or did you hear from Celeste that there were problems at home?
She said how her mom didn't treat her well or whatever, and she didn't like where she was at.
Did she talk at all about her relationship with her parents?
Kind of. She just said they were mean or whatever. She didn't like them.
And then you guys broke up, and the next thing you know, you find out that she's involved with this internet sensation, David.
Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna happen, like, at all, because like she was always like so happy and stuff.
What is your last memory that you have of Celeste?
We were at PE, and she told me and my friend that she was running away, and she said it was because of her parents, and she was like joking about it, and she was like happy, like joking like she always was, and like it didn't seem real because like she was like playing around, joking about it, and the next day she wasn't at school, and like that's the last time I saw her.
Did it break your heart that you were not going to be with her, or did you feel upset about losing the relationship?
Not really. It was kind of clear that we're like better as friends, but it was kind of sad that I wasn't able to like say goodbye, but like see how she was doing, like when she ran away.
What was your reaction when you saw the breaking news that they had found your ex-girlfriend's body in the trunk of his car?
My heart dropped. I was like, I don't know. I just couldn't believe it. I kind of had a feeling when I saw like the first thing. I was like, what if it is her? But I just like brushed it off. But when I saw it really was her, I was like, damn, I really knew.
So let me just make sure I'm understanding this correctly. You had seen the news out of Los Angeles that a body was found in his car.
Yeah.
And you immediately had a sinister thought about Celeste?
Yeah, because one of my friends told me.
Were you at home with your mom when they identified Celeste and you saw it all over the news? Can you remember that moment for us?
Yeah, I was on the way to school, and then like she just like showed me, and like I took a picture of it and I sent it to one of my friends, and he's like, yeah, I saw it too, it's crazy. And I just couldn't believe it.
So this has been the talk of the school?
Yeah.
Just the fact it was someone that my son was so close to at one time, and how everything happened, it's kind of scary. It's really close to home. And if it could happen to her, it could happen to anyone. And everyone just needs to be very careful on social media.
What about you? What do you think about at night when this kind of flashes through your mind?
I just think like if someone actually like did something, like when she said she's gonna run away, because I feel like no one cared.
So the real question is, how much longer can David outrun this? How many more awkward moments, deleted comments, and shady excuses before the walls close in? Because one way or another, the truth always surfaces. And when it does, careers don't just stumble, they collapse. And for David, that collapse might already be in motion. Stay tuned, because if this story has taught us anything, it's that the next chapter is just one headline away.